In 1962, the Chevy 409 engine made a huge impact in the muscle car world with impressive power. The base version produced 360 horsepower thanks to a single Carter AFB carburetor, but Chevy wasn't content with that and quickly bumped up the power to 380 horsepower, still using a single carburetor. By 1963, the 409 evolved, hitting 409 horsepower thanks to upgrades like twin AFBs, improved cylinder heads, and a more aggressive camshaft. The engine came in different variants, including a 340 horsepower version with a single 4-barrel carb and a hydraulic cam, a 400 horsepower version with a solid lifter cam, and the top-tier 425 horsepower version featuring a compression ratio of 11.25.1, solid lifters, and twin 4-barrel carbs. This setup pushed the 409 to compete with the best of its time. However, in 1964, the 409 saw some significant changes. The 425 horsepower version was discontinued towards the end of the production year, marking the beginning of its decline. By 1965, only the 340 and 400 horsepower variants were available, and the 409 was phased out completely in favor of the new 396 V8. This transition marked the end of the 409's production and saw Chevy moving towards newer and more advanced engine designs, leaving the 409 behind. Over its 5-year run, Chevy produced over 15,409 V8 engines, with around 9,000 going into Chevrolet cars, and the remaining 6,000 sold as crate engines for enthusiasts to use in their own projects, helping keep the 409's legend alive. Even after production ended, the 409 also found its way into Canadian Pontiacs, which, while built on Chevrolet chassis, offered a unique twist on American muscle. These Canadian models included the Saint-Tropez, Chief Laurentien, Parisian, and Grand Parisian. Buyers could order these cars with the Flame 348 or Super Flame 409 engines, offering factory-built high performance without any modifications. The 409's performance wasn't limited to the street. In 1962, it also dominated the drag strip. Right out of the box, the 409 could turn in quarter-mile times in the low 14-second range, with high 13-second runs possible with a few simple modifications. Drag racers like Don Nicholson also showed off the 409's potential, taking home the stock eliminator title at the NH Winter Nationals in Pomona that year, solidifying its place in the drag racing world. Chevrolet also introduced a special version of the 409 for serious drag racers called the Z11. The Z11 was a factory-built beast designed for drag strip domination, featuring an aluminum 427 cubic inch engine, a high-rise 2-piece aluminum intake manifold, dual Carter AFB carbs, and a wild solid lifter cam. Although it was officially rated at 430 horsepower, anyone who drove or raced a Z11 knew the true power of the engine was far greater. This version was built to compete at the highest levels of NHRA drag racing in the early 1960s and became one of the rarest and most sought-after performance engines of the era, despite its success on the street. And the drag strip, the 409's time was limited. By 1965, the engine was phased out and replaced by the 396 Mark V Big Block, a newer and more advanced design. The Chevy 409's legacy lives on, though, with modern technology making it easier to rebuild these engines with aftermarket parts available to enhance their performance. Despite the 409's flaws, it remains a legendary piece of Chevy's muscle car history.